was way longer than I thought. Hey, guess what? How do you beat the censors from YouTube and the copyright strikes? Will you use your own music? Yes, folks, that was me. That was me. That was me a long time ago. And so YouTube and Facebook and blah, 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 they can't steal it. That's my music. So, good evening, people. Welcome to Kingdom Lum Small Town Underground. And for the first time, we are streaming to Rumble. I was finally able to get a URL. And in case you didn't know, when I first started the TikTok, it told me I could get 1,000 subscribers and I could go live. And now they've updated their terms of service and I need 3,000 subscribers. So, Pooey on TikTok. Of course, when I get up to 3,000, it'll tell me I need 5,000. So, welcome everybody tonight. I'm in a pretty good mood. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending your Wednesday evening with me. Looking forward to your comments. Excuse me, that coffee's hot. And we're going to start off this video here. Watch this.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vice President. Have you? I know you're running for president. You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years. Yeah. Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. And yet, your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. I think it's a fair question to ask, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern. I'm running for president of the United States because I think this country's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, good Lord. I think you are in a lot of trouble, Mike Pence. Ha, ha, ha. You're finished. Now that is what you call a rhino, okay? That is not my concern. It is more concerning to get tanks over to Ukraine and start World War III than it is to fix your own country and the drugs and the immigration and the shitties. What do I mean by cities, right? It's crazy to me. It's crazy that he even said that and he got caught up. Thank goodness for Tucker Carlson and that he is unchained now. He can ask anybody anything. And I can't believe he said it. I mean, and he didn't even, he just rolled with it. It was like that was what he was going to say. That's not my concern. I mean, what a terrible thing to say, even if he didn't mean it. Mike Pence, you were finished before you started, so go back and sit down and go back to wherever you came from. Nobody wants you running for president. You and Chris Christie go open up a Burger King or something like that. Just get out of the way. Let the big boys play. So if you haven't already seen that clip, it's pretty darn crazy. So let's move on to this. I'm going to get the videos out of the way, and then we'll cover a little bit of news, all right? The first clip was from Blaze Media. This clip, if you haven't seen it yet, this is from the Liberal Hive Mind channel. And I thought this was really important to cover this week because it's going to get a little ping-pongy here. But I want you to listen to this, this is the, I believe it's the Italian Prime Minister, I think. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and play it. But just check this out.
The forefront of the political discussion, especially in Europe, and Giorgia Meloni chimed in.
Questo si chiama Franco CFA. È la moneta
This is called the
coloniale
CFA
che la
thing. It is
Francia
a
stampa per
colonial
14
currency
nazioni
that France
africane,
prints for
alle
14
quali
African countries
applica
to
il
which it applies
signoraggio e in forza delle
seigniorage by
quali
virtue of which
sfrutta
it
le
exploits
risorse
the
di questa
resources of
nazione.
these nations.
Questo,
This is a child who works in a gold mine in
questo è un
Burkina
bambino che
Faso.
lavora in una miniera d'oro in Burkina Faso. Il Burkina Faso è una delle
is one of the
nazioni più
poorest
povere del
nations in the
mondo.
world.
Per il Burkina Faso che ha
France
l'oro,
prints colonial
la
money
Francia
for Burkina
stampa
Faso, which has
moneta
gold.
coloniale. In cambio
In
pretende che
return, they
finiscano
demand that
nelle casse
50%
del
of
tesoro
everything that
francese
Burkina Faso
il
exports end up in
50%
the
di tutto
coffers of the
quello
French
che il
treasury.
Burkina Faso esporta. L'oro che
The
questo
gold that this
bambino si
child
infila
goes
in un
down
cunicolo
a
per
tunnel
tirare
to
fuori
extract
finisce
mostly
per lo più
ends up
nelle
in the
casse
coffers
dello
of the
Stato
French state.
francese. Allora la soluzione non è prendere
So
gli
the solution
africani e
is not to take
spostarli
the
in
Africans
Europa.
and
La
bring them to
soluzione è
Europe. The
liberare
solution is to
l'Africa da
free
certi
Africa from certain
europei che la
Europeans who
sfruttano
exploit it.
e consentire a queste
I hope I
persone
didn't
di
screw that
vivere di
up.
quello che hanno.
Holy frickin' based.
Yeah. Now, what I tried to read over for context, but basically what she's saying is how France's money is exchanged in 14 African countries. And they send these children down to mine for gold, right? They with this slavery, just like we were talking about last week, this week, slavery, different kind of slavery. The same slavery that mines the lithium for the cars, that mines the lithium for your cell phones, the gold. All these poor countries, they're going in and they're mining all of these natural resources and these precious metals, and they're using slave labor tactics to do it. And so think about this for a second. As we in America, we're sitting here in all this crazy idiocracy, right? The problem is not the immigrants that come to the other countries. It's the other countries that go to these poorer countries, and they instill these proxy governments, and we go to war with them, and we extract all of their resources. I mean, it's pretty incredible when you think about it. When you think about America and what we did in Afghanistan, what we did in the Middle East, how it was terrorists, all this stuff. Of course, there's two sides to every coin, but and the country of Africa right now is being fought by the huge global powers for what? None other than lithium and gold and silver and all of these precious metals. And we're not satisfied within our own borders. We have to go and we have to rape and pillage. I shouldn't have said that, but anyway, we have to pillage all of these natural resources from all these other countries instead of building them up and all of these things. I never could understand if I were an immigrant and I from Mexico or Honduras or whatever, I would do everything I can to get across that border. And of course, that doesn't make it right. But if I were there, so I can't necessarily blame those people. They're just doing what they need to do. But why on earth do we not ever strengthen Mexico and South America and all these things? Instead, we let our government run the drug trade up to this nation from there, and we keep the cartels running. And what do? We send all of our industrial, factories down to the border, down to Mexico, and we charge them like a tenth of what we make here in America. How is that helping? I mean, that's literally exploiting that country. So if you want to think about these kinds of things, think about how many times that America or the bigger world powers are the oppressor, right? And so she brings up a really, really good point. But something that I had to think long and hard about, because what we're going through right now in this country is almost a judgment, basically. And what we know further and further every single day is that nothing is what it seems, and we have no idea how far the corruption goes. Right? We have no idea. We think we do, but every day we get more and more revelation. So just think about those who have the power and the money, the cultists, the Illuminatiists, the whatever you want to call them, the deep state, that have control, and the exploitation that not only we are going through now in our country, the systematic breakdown of society, the systematic breakdown of our culture and our families and our education and our criminal justice system, right? And you just think, they do it here, they do it everywhere, It's always quid pro quo, it's always tit for tat, it's always something. Moving along, let us go ahead and hit some news. Well, let's just start. We're not going to cover all this stuff, but wow, that one's a rough one. Republican freak show, Hunter Biden sex in open committee, Green whips Wolf. I didn't know. Actually, you know what? That's pretty crazy. I try to keep this family friendly, but that was not the title to that about 10 minutes ago. They've already changed it on the Drudge Report. But if you haven't already heard, Marjorie Taylor Greene whips out graphic Hunter Biden pics during IRS whistleblower hearing, warning parental discretion is advised. So I think it's hilarious that they're making a big deal out of Marjorie Greene opening these things in congressional hearings. Because right now, so far, we have 3 whistleblowers that have come forth, and I believe in 3 different institutions against the Biden criminal regime. And all of these headlines are now gaslit with Marjorie Taylor Greene whipping out this nasty stuff in front of the Congressional Hearing Committee. But they ignore this stuff. They ignore it like it never happened. Go back to the FBI directing 52 agents to sign a form, passing it around in an email saying, hey, would you mind putting your name on this so that we can say that the Hunter Biden laptop isn't real? Do we ignore the fact that the majority of Americans said that if they knew about the Hunter Biden laptop before the 2020 election, it would have changed their mind, blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? This is some crazy stuff. It's not crazy that Marjorie Taylor Greene showed that. It's crazy that they would paint this to be something vile and putrid when they wouldn't even accept the fact that it was real to begin with. And the owner of not DuckDuckGo, it's Marco Polo. You know, he put together an entire discography of this Hunter Biden laptop, and we know that the Hunter Biden's not being charged for this stuff. We know that he got off court easy. I mean, it is a clown world up there. It's laughable. It's absolutely laughable. But what's crazy is that the title was not that about 10 minutes ago. So we're just going to skim through some of this real quick. Lord have mercy. Just tons and tons of stuff. Let's go to the next one. We'll go to cover Zero Hedge. This is one I want to get into tonight. Most contemptible song of the decade. Country music TV bands Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town. There's a video there. I'm not going to play the video, obviously, for copyright reasons, but what I thought would be kind of fun tonight, and I'm going to, I'm not going to use any of the words, Here we go. So Charlie Kirk on Twitter, I think it was yesterday, or actually it was not too long ago, he put on one of his Twitter feeds, Try That in a Small Town by Jason Aldean versus WAP by Cardi B. And if you don't know what WAP is, it's a good thing because it is a nasty, nasty song, probably that all your children have listened to on TikTok and everywhere else, and the video and the dancing is even worse. I don't criticize music that often because I think that music is an art form. I used to play music, still play music, and I tell people to each their own. I listen to stuff that nobody else would listen to. I grew up on rap music. I grew up back in Ice Cube and NWA days, Easy. There's a lot of things that I like. I like all kinds of music, so I normally don't bring music up. But when you compare the two, and your lamestream media is making a huge deal about calling this song contemptible, which I have not even heard yet, therein lies a huge problem. So what we're going to do tonight is we're just going to have a little fun, and we're going to compare the lyrics. So the lyrics in Try That in a Small Town by Jason Aldean go as this. Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, well, act a fool. You like cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag, and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town. Amen. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town. And disclaimer, I recommend you don't try that in a small town. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to compare those lyrics to, which are as everything we've been seeing on TV for the last 5 years, to Cardi B's WAP. And I will not say any nasty words, but it'll be a lot of bleep. So here we go. Beat it up, bleep. Catch a charge, extra large and extra hard. Put this blank right in you blank. Swipe your blank like a credit card. Hop on top, I want to ride. I do blank while... See, I can't even do it. I can't even do it, okay? The fact that we allow the Cardi B song to be culturally appropriate in this country tells you everything you need to know about the degeneration of our culture, right? Now, like I said, I always try to give music the benefit of the doubt because music is music and it's an art form to me. And as I played my song at the very beginning, that's something I did years ago. But when you have news media outlets that are literally calling a country song like this contemptible, which is life imitates art, art imitates life, right? It's an actual reflection of what we see every single day in the media, on our feeds, and the reality of this country. And then you have the audacity to call it contemptible, but our children are out here listening to songs like WAP and probably worse, okay? I tried out Travis Scott, man. But you remember back last year when Travis Scott did all that stuff? There's really freaky stuff going on. And I'm not knocking him. You know, I'm a big Tyler, the Creator fan. I mean, I'm trying to be honest with y'all. I love Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator's got some rough stuff out there, you know. Wolfgang, Tyler, the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt. I mean, I'm just being honest. But don't you dare try to gaslight the people with this contemptible crap and then ignore the mass degeneration of culture and music. I mean, even most rappers, like you take Ludacris, Outkast, some of the great Southern rappers, you take Ghetto Boys, which is one of my all-time favorites, and you compare them to the trap rap that's out today. Even these people are like, how did it fall this far down, you know? And I love beats, but I cannot listen to trap rap. I can't do it. It's just, I got to be able to hear the story, man. You know, we're talking about people that were oppressed, living in the ghettos and doing anything they could to survive and telling a story. And nowadays you've got just, you can't even understand them. They're wrapping up peanut butter sandwiches and diamond rings. I mean, I just don't get it, man. But don't you dare. And you know what? I'm not a big country fan. I love the old country, you know, Johnny Cash. A lot of this new country I can't hardly stand, but don't you dare do that to our culture. That's so stupid. And again, disclaimer: don't try it in a small town. Don't try it in a small town because we do stick together. We do cherish our communities and our fellow communities everywhere, and we're not gonna let you get away with it. So keep that crap in your cities. Anyway, that really got me going today, man. I was like, I ain't about all that. You know, come on now, leave it alone. Oh, Lord, we don't want to get into Ukraine right now. We'll tie some of that in a little bit. National file. President Trump reveals Jack Smith will arrest him on January 6 charges now. Folks, I thought about going off on a crazy rant tonight about this whole arrest thing on January 6th. And I decided against it. You know, last time I was pretty mad. I was pretty mad when they did that crap up in New York. I mean, obviously, you understand that this is complete weaponized politicalization of Donald Trump. It's all a complete lie. It's a fabrication. And the simple fact that every mainstream media outlet and the government is going with this hook, line, and sinker should tell you everything you need to know of how corroborated and how in step these people are. I mean, it's blatantly obvious. World War III, Biden calls up thousands of reserve troops for Operation Atlantic Resolve. Well, what was it first? Tanks, equipment, F-16s. Now we're sending reserve troops. We have the Army Airborne up in Poland. I mean, where is this all going? Do you think that this stuff's going to end? I don't. There is no end to this. There is no good, and we've already exacerbated any type of peace deals that I can see in the foreseeable future, unless somebody like Trump was president, and that I do believe he could get a peace deal pretty freaking quickly. But it will never go back to the way it was. Ukraine and Russia will never go back to the way it was. So keep that in mind as we move on and we stop ping-pong, and I'm going to get to that. Let's go right here. Despite leftist outrage, Jason Aldean rockets to #1 with anti-woke. Always a gaslit comment, right? Man, there's a bunch of stuff in here, and for lack of time, I'm probably not going to go through all this, but we are all watching. I mean, this stuff's coming at us 90 to nothing, right? IRS whistleblower testifies Biden crime family received $17 million from China, other foreign countries, right? James Comer reveals Biden crime family created 20-plus shell companies to launder foreign money through. An IRS whistleblower reveals Hunter's illegal tax deductions, prostitutes, sex clubs, adult children tuition, and did not report income from corrupt Ukraine gas company. Now, these are whistleblowers that are testifying right now as they're trying to arrest Donald Trump over the January 6th protest, peaceful protest. It damn sure wasn't an insurrection, you idiots. I don't even care. I'm tired of this walking around. I'm tired of worrying if I'm going to get kicked off. It wasn't an insurrection. The only thing it was its own government insurrection. You realize how many FBI agents, how many police that were in those crowds? Ray Epps. I mean, come on, man. And we all have the video of Donald Trump saying peaceful protest. He wasn't anywhere near. The whole Alex Jones thing. It's insane. But all of this is tying in together because I'm trying to paint a picture. I'm trying to paint you a picture. And that's one reason we're not going to cover news, because it's all the same thing. All the same thing. IRS whistleblower Joseph Ziegler details DOJ protection of the Bidens in CBS News interview. You know, we could go on and we could go on. All right? And let's look at one more. Let's look at notyouraverageCitizen.org. Let's see what the news report is. If you're not already checking this out, this is our local boy Tyler, and he has got all kinds of good stuff on his website. So let's see. Illinois is set to become the first state in the nation to end cash bail after the state Supreme Court ruled that a landmark state law did not violate its constitution. Yeah, well, it's coming. It's all coming. The Biden administration is taking steps to permanently block China's Wuhan Institute of Virology from receiving funding from the U.S. government after the review found the facility non-compliant with federal regulations. I don't think they've been compliant with federal regulations since Obama moved it from North Carolina, folks. Anyway, we could go on and on, but I know that I can get doom and gloom, but it's all the same thing over and over and over again. So, now, let's move on from the news. And why did I label tonight's podcast a message from conservative Fantasyland? People say, "Oh, you're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene." No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm glad she said the quote, because I do disagree with Marjorie Taylor Greene on one thing. Among some, but one thing. I live in a conservative fantasy land. Anybody that lives up in the 14th district lives in a conservative fantasy land. Now, what do I mean by conservative fantasy land? Well, it's very, very simple. When you think about it, and you go back to COVID, and you go back to, well, let's use that for starters, COVID. You go back. A lot of COVID that was happening around the world didn't really affect us up here in the mountains in the 14th where we are. Now, some areas did, of course. We know Floyd County was a big upset there, and of course Atlanta and all these other places. But you come around the Walker, Chattooga, Catoosa County, Whitfield wasn't that bad. I mean, even Florida, you could get away with a lot of stuff, but it was almost a fantasy land. It was surreal. So I'm going to paint a picture because, of course, I'm unvaccinated, right? I didn't buy into any of that. And if you did, hey, more power to you. I don't judge. You do you, and that's all I'm saying. But it's already changed again. Look at this. Republican freak show, Hunter Biden's sex in open committee, green whip. Anyway, you be the judge, but let me not lose my train of thought here. So COVID, I still worked, my wife still worked, even though our children didn't go to school. Never had a problem going in and out of stores without mask, with mask. If you went to the doctor's office, you took a weekend vacation, you just did your thing. Over here, for the most part, and of course there's crime. I'm a bail bondsman. I see it all the time. I see all the crime that goes on in our county. But you can still relatively get away with, forgetting your purse and leaving your car unlocked and going in the house and sleeping, and everything's out there the next day. You can still kind of get away with being at a convenience store and maybe leaving your vehicle running and running in for a minute to get a drink. I mean, in a lot of ways, we live kind of vicariously through the news cycle, right? And we're awake, we're red pilled where we're at. We are, and there's a lot of preppers out there. There's a lot of people that are really trying to bring the communities together and do things and be more independent. And so, in a lot of ways, like, we can still do things like when the fires are going on, we don't have all of the catastrophes that a lot of places do. It is kind of a conservative fantasy land when you think about it, because it's one of the top, at least 3-5 reddest, most conservative places in the United States. Yet we have Atlanta, and Georgia's bruised, right? It's bruised, red and purple, red and blue. What is my point to this? My point is that there's a flip side to living the way that we can live. There's a flip side to being able to do the things we can do without getting, without all this cultural denigration, right? Even our school system, as bad as things can be, and I'm saying my kids are both in public school, right? We do pay a lot of attention to the teachers and the curriculum, and though it's not perfect, it's better than most places. But what I think happens is this kind of conservative fantasy land breeds complacency in a lot of ways. And you can disagree if you want. This is my opinion. This is just what I think. But you go back to the summer of love. Was it 2018? Think about what we've went through with the Donald Trump presidency, election integrity, the Clintons, Biden, all of these things. Even back during Obama and Bush, things were relatively untouched here. We've had the same industry here for many, many years, and people work. As you go back through all that, and it's a form of complacency, because people get complacent because none of these things that we see on TV, none of these things figuratively that we watch and we read every day, we get mad, we get pissed off, right? They're made to gaslight, but so many of these things just plain out don't happen here. Yet we have a strong conservatism, and it breeds complacency, sort of like an echo chamber. It breeds complacency. It makes people too comfortable, all right, too secure, all right, and we know the cities are failing. We know that the Democrat policies are failing. We know that they're trying to inject communism and socialism into the world, and they're trying to race bait, and they're trying to divide us down here. It's the stupidest thing in the world, trying to divide black people and white people and brown people and blah, blah, blah. If you buy into that crap, this is the wrong channel for you. We're so far past all of that. We are so far past all of that. But we're complacent. We don't have the fire to how do I say this? We just don't think it's going to happen until something happens to us, right? I'm fine until it affects me. I am fine and I am dandy, and this stuff's not going to come at me. And this crazy dude that gets up here and talks about central bank digital currency, and he talks about transhumanism and World War III, this stuff's not going to happen. I'm going to be okay. Now, I'm not doom and glooming, because we're okay. But you have to understand that it's all of our responsibilities to group together, to prioritize community, to get involved with organizations, to stand up and let people know Not in my town, just like that song, right? Not in my town. You have to cut it off before it starts. You understand? You cannot let the disease spread. It's a cancer, and it spreads. And if you sit on your hands and do nothing, it will overtake you. Now, prime example, Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, is basically a suburb of Chattanooga. A lot of low-end income moving in. A lot of people moving out of the city. Guess what they're doing? More thefts. Post office boxes being ripped off. People's using all kinds of identification, whether it be like fake checks or even passports to go in and raid banks. And then you've got these stories of people going in and stealing blindly just the whole store, and everybody's laughing about it. You breed that kind of culture, you're going to end up just like the cities, right? Now, we already have talked quite a bit about how our justice system is, I mean, it's in the toilet. How can we take, at this moment in time, just think about this for a second. How can you take politics seriously at the moment when Joe Biden's in the House? I know people are, I want Ron DeSantis. I want Donald Trump. If you want Mike Pence, please go to another channel. It's not even worth the conversation. All right, like if you're a Mike Pence supporter, just leave. But you get what I'm saying? We get caught up in all this crap. But at this point in time, my tinfoil hat says we may not even make it to the 2024 election. You understand? Because of how bad things are. Now, I'm not ending with doom and gloom. We're going to go to the positives. I saved it for the end. But you get what I'm saying? Like right now, things are coming at us 90-0, and we have to get involved, okay? We have to get involved. You need to find your local GOP in your county, and you need to figure out when the next meeting is, and you need to go to it. You need to go to it, and then you need to get involved. You need to say, "Hey, I want to strengthen this. I want to strengthen it. I care about voting. I care about conservative principles. I care about my children." Because, that's the big divide. The Democrats don't care about any of that. You got to stand up for what you care about. You got to fight for it. You need to find a local group, a gun club or a Second Amendment group, and you say, "Hey, put me in, coach. Like, how can I help?" I get made fun of this in certain circles. They're like, "Oh, you love doing this, doing that." Let me tell y'all something, and y'all might think this is a conceited or maybe it's short-sighted, but if I got kicked off of this right now, midstream, I could walk away from this whole thing in an instant and not look back. It doesn't mean I don't care about it. It doesn't mean that I dislike what we're doing here. I feel like I'm led. You understand? I feel like I'm led. I feel like so many people sit that I got to stand up and I got to do this. And that now I'm to the point where my life doesn't matter. Like, I'm beyond all that. Like, I'm beyond they're listening to you on the phone, or they're going to come shut you down, or they're going to do it. I'm going to fight to the end. Now, I don't think everybody should do that, but I do think that people need to get a little more in the game. It's been years, and I can say that because I've been in this thing for a few years now, and we've got less people now than we did back during the Summer of Love. And make no mistake, if Trump was to get back in office, it would be the Summer of Love times 15, right? And I'm a Trump supporter. But they are already doing everything they can to keep this man out of office, and it's backfiring daily. What do you think they're going to do? They're 10 steps ahead. All right? 10 steps ahead. But you've got to get involved. And we've got to quit this knee-jerk mentality of, I don't like so-and-so, or this and that and the other. And I even agree to a certain extent about, you can't call everybody rhino. I get it. But you got to call things out where they're at. We've got to fix what is wrong. We've got things that are wrong that people are just telling you to move on from. Well, I don't understand that, and I'm not going to get quite into that. But what I'm saying is you need to find organizations to get involved with. You don't have to be a leader. You don't even have to be a follower. You can just show up, man. And if you don't like something, let's change it. Let's change it together. All right? Because the tyranny will come. It's already incrementally coming. And let me go ahead and tell you that when they implement this central digital banking currency, which is coming, 130 countries already have it in the whims. Citibank and Wells Fargo are already working on an implementation where every single transaction will go through the Federal Reserve. Your state of Georgia is in phase 1 of a digital ID. When all of these things tie together, they will be able to control everything you buy or cannot buy. The money will not even be yours. It will be programmable money, and it will be owned by the Federal Digital Banking Institution. You don't believe me? Just wait and see. Just wait and see. And so the gun that you wanted to buy, or if you decided you wanted to get 2 gallons of milk instead of 1, guess what? You can't do it. You want to take that vacation, well, guess what? It's going to cost you 500 extra credits so that you can honor your carbon taxes. I mean, for Christ's sake, they're talking about a voluntary program so that the government can put cameras in your house so you can be safer, so they can monitor the situations. So for domestic disputes and robberies and break-ins. You want the gun? That's right out of 1984. It is right out of 1984, y'all. If you haven't seen the movie or read the book, I strongly suggest you read it. It's coming to pass. It's not hyperbole. This is the reality of where we're at. And I, for one, I'm not going to partake in it. I'm not going along with this system to get along. I'm not going to do it. And we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But don't expect to see me around in 10 years. That's all I'm saying. I've made my peace. That's why I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until I can't do it anymore. You cut me off, whatever. I'm going to go do something else. I'm ranting. You need to get involved. All right? Now, I'm going to cover a few things that we can talk about. And thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We're going to get to comments here. Voter Georgia. I'm going to talk to you about Voter Georgia. All right, I'm bringing it up here on the screen, votergeorgia.org. If you haven't already heard of Garland Favorito and all of the things that they are doing, it is a great organization. They are working very hard, and the first featured post says, Unplug Georgia, unseal ballots, unleash transparency. If you can make an argument against that, that statement, I'd love to hear it. Okay? Unleash transparency. Okay? It says voters organized for trusted election results in Georgia. Okay? Now, you want to go down some rabbit holes. These are people on the ground that are working tirelessly for election integrity. Okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. There's nothing wrong with that. Get involved in Voter Georgia. You can get in touch with them. Man, I mean, these are things that you can get in touch with. Get involved in. Let's look up another one real quick. This is right here in my neck of the woods, which was, I believe, a new website. And let's see if it's going to pull up. Walker County Republican Party. All right, this is WalkerGOP.com. Guess what? There it is. Brand new website open up. Countdown to Election Day. Vote, join, donate. There's all kinds of things that you can do in the Walker County Republican Party. In the Chattooga County, the Catoosa County, the Whitfield County, the Floyd County, all over. If you don't like what's going on, get involved with people who are there. I went to the meeting last night. I'm part of a committee. I'm about as dumb as a box of hair, and I am in charge of a committee. And I'm going to do my best to honor that committee. But my point is that I'm doing something. And there was people that were there that, I mean, they're ready and willing. I met 2 people that came up to me and said, hey, I want to help out any way I can. Guess what? It's my responsibility. I got to get up and help. Go to your GOPs. Get involved with them, man. Get involved with them. The next up on the list, I've already pulled it up. Tactical Civics. Guess what? That's another organization that's coming around. It's making its rounds over here. You want to know what Tactical Civics is? We're actually going to do another live stream on Tactical Civics, go more in depth. Okay? Tactical Civics is we the people finally enforcing the magnificent law that our forefathers left us, and unlike politics, Tactical Civics needs only half of 1% of the people to take responsibility. Okay? There's an 11-minute video. It's coming around. There's people that are actively involved in this right now that need your support. They need bodies. They need people. They need people that are tired of what they're seeing, man. You know, go support NotYourAverageCitizen.org. It's a local daily news report equipped with podcasts once a week. It's equipped with the live streams that he's doing and news for each day. Stuff that you can look at every single day. That's done locally. Red Mammoth is another one. Everybody knows Red Mammoth. Well, I'm trying to pull it up here. Jonathan Garcia. He's all over the place making grow kits, and I got to finally watch one of his live streams late. But, you know, the dude's got like merchandise. He's making like vertical grow buckets and stuff. And, you know, he's got a lot of information out there. Check it out, man. I mean, these are just a few ways that you can get involved. Go to commissioner meetings. You know, we're gonna go to some commissioner meetings. We're gonna try to see if we can make some differences in some places, you know, where other people can't do it. I'm gonna tell you something, folks. I've been to these commissioner meetings, and I mean, like, I have seen what a crowd of people can make a difference, right? Join one of your local Second Amendment groups. They're dormant right now, right? I mean, Georgia Gun Owners is another good one, you know, that you can join. They're a great organization, and they're firebrand, man. They've really come through for the Second Amendment. I'm not trying to leave out people. I'm just giving you guys I'm trying to get some people motivated. You can't just sit back and do nothing and expect somebody else to take that load, all right? Because you just can't. And I want to set a shout out. I'm going to say his name, Brian Queen. He may not want me to say that name, but he's been a friend of mine for a long time. He's been a boss of mine. But the dude is just showing up to all kinds of stuff. And he's like, I'm just going to help where I can. And I didn't even know. You know, he came to a Tactical Civics meeting. He didn't know nothing about it. My friends, I had several friends that came that didn't really know nothing about it. The Stricklands came. Anyway, I'm not trying to single him out, but last night I went to the GOP meeting, right? And guess what? He was sitting there. He wasn't even a member. He just saw it, and he's like, I'm going to go to it. That's what we need, folks. I met a man last night who was an ex-principal, an ex-educator, and he was only been living around here 4 years. He decided to come to a GOP meeting. I met him last night, and bam, he's there, and we're going to work together on some stuff. So I'm just telling y'all, man, and you don't have to be a Superman. You don't have to be involved in everything, but we need help. I mean, we need help. We've got to maintain this stance in our town, not in my town. You're not going to mess up my town. And we got good law enforcement around here. Most of our elected representatives are great. We have pretty good commissioners for the most part. And, you know, hey, most everything is pretty good around here. We live in a conservative fantasy land right here, especially where I'm at. But you will lose it if you don't stand up against the evil and the tyranny and the corruption that is coming our way. I don't want it to come our way. I don't want it to be anywhere, but I'm telling you, this stuff's not going away. These cities are not going to fix themselves. This flakka and this fentanyl and these horse tranquilizers and these shithole cities where everybody is miserable, they're not going to fix themselves. And all it takes is for industry to pull out from where we're at. You get a few companies that decide to pull out from where they're at, and guess what? Nosedive, right? You don't have a government that is on your side. They've proven that. We have a few Republicans up there that are making the huge stinks. And while we're trying to, well, I'll put it to you this way, the more corruption, we know that everything is corrupt. The more corruption that gets revealed, the worse things are going to get. Okay, this is one reason why I disagree with this. You got to vote for the winning ticket. You've got to vote for the... Guess what? There is no winning ticket. Okay, I don't care about winning and losing, because the more that we win, the worse things are going to get. You understand? They don't want us to win. This world is not going to go back to normal. That's one thing I'll agree with the WEF, and they said it. This is going to be the new normal, and it's coming. Now, where we're willing to go with this, I don't know. I know where my line in the sand is, but make no mistake, we're not going back. The war is not going back. Okay, it's only going to get more entrenched and worse, and it's going to get more global. So we have to organize now. We need you. We need you in our GOPs. We need you to join things like Tactical Civics, Voter Georgia, all of these organizations. The GRA. There's a great organization, GRA. It's trying to hold accountability for conservatives. The Right to Life, Georgia Right to Life. You care about lives? Go to Georgia Right to Life, man. They're all against abortions. They're fighting hard. They need people. They called me up one day. They said, hey, will you come down to Atlanta? I was like, let me check my schedule. Sure, I'll come down to Atlanta. I couldn't do it before, couldn't do it then. I went down there. Take a stand. That's all it takes. That's all it takes, y'all. But we need you people. We need as much help as we can get. So let's go back up to do some comments. That's pretty much my rant and my rave, right? Oh, yeah, Matt Gaetz, he's trying to defund Jack Smith, so woo! And good job, Marjorie, playing the laptop, because these idiots want to make believe and pretend like it's not real, and you just shoved it right in their faces, so I'll take that as a win. All right, Jennifer Jones-Hilligus, thank you, by the way. Jennifer Jones-Hilligus is part of Tactical Civics. She's a coordinator in this area. And we're going to do another live stream, and she's got a plethora of information. It's a great extra tool in your toolbox to get involved and meet like-minded people. Let's get back to the pre-COVID days where we were all getting together and sitting down in rooms and talking and moving forward together, right? It's not over yet. He can still be charged for other crimes. You're not kidding. You're not kidding. This is a teetotal clown world fiasco we're seeing. It's idiocracy at every level, and it's organized chaos. And well, I don't even know if it's organized at this point. But I mean, dear Lord, I tried to find the video earlier of Biden sleeping during the middle of a prayer. I'm sure you've seen it if you've been on social media. Sitting there, nodding off while he's trying to say a prayer, and then the camera even catches the prime minister, whoever it was, looking over like, what the heck's going on here, Jennifer Jones-Hilligus is my new favorite song. I'm going to listen to it as soon as this is over in a few minutes. So, and like I said, music is music, to each their own. I listen to some pretty wild stuff myself. Of course, not in public, right? But my God, if you're going to call out one song, Jesus, there's 15 others to call out, right? WAP is a gross song and video. I've never listened to the song all the way through, and I've never watched the video all the way through. But what I have seen of it, and I'm raising girls, y'all. I'm raising girls. And when the TikTok crap was going on and they were doing these dance videos, I told them, I said, not in my house. I said, you listen to whatever you want on your own time, with your own headphones. I will never tell you can't listen to anything. But if I hear that song being played in my house, or I see any of my daughters dancing to these videos, I said, it's over. I will break your phone. And you all macho, whatever. I'm raising girls to be women. I'm not raising them to be like whores. I'll shut up about that. Jonathan Garcia, good to see you. I'm glad I caught your video the other day. WAP isn't music. Yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, not saying it isn't or it ain't, but don't you dare call a song like this contemptible and then let that one slide, right? Jonathan, they did try, wasn't even wasn't eventful in Carsville, Georgia in 2020. And I can't say that. BS Lives Matter. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about because I was watching you the other day. So, and they did try, and you know what? They tried a little bit around here, and we had the Floyd County things. We had all the, like I said, this happened during the Summer of Love, folks. Whenever they were being funded by George Soros. They were being funded by World Economic Forums and Council on Foreign Relations. All this, and right now they're dormant because we got child sniffer in the White House. You understand? They're being able to just ramrod all this crap through. Imagine if Trump gets in office again, it'll be threefold, you understand? And they will. It will get worse. And I don't care because I'm going to stand on the side of right no matter what you throw at me. Jennifer, it's been predicted that Mystery Babylon is the most sexually perverted country. Well, there you go. Jonathan, drill rapping. I don't think I know what drill means, but I've heard it before. So, Jennifer Jones Hilligus, did you see a tornado destroyed the Pfizer building today? No, I did not. I'll have to check that out. That'd be kind of like that George Floyd mural that got struck by lightning. You know, divine intervention. I don't know. So, Jonathan Garcia, Jason Aldean will be bumping to work. Jason Aldean will be bumping to work for me tomorrow. There you go. I'm like I said, I'm not a big Jason Aldean fan. I ain't got nothing against him, but I'm definitely going to listen to the song. So, Jennifer Jones Hilligus, Trump is the ultimate bait. You're absolutely correct. And it was the famous meme, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm in the way. He is the ultimate bait. So, Jennifer Jones Hilligus, you can't send the troops without Congress approval. That's high treason. Well, apparently nobody gives a crap about anything anymore because he's sending the troops. I mean, I can't forget we got Army Rangers in Poland we've had for, 8 or 9 months? I mean, who's approving any of this stuff? Who the hell knows what's going on? We don't even know what. They're not even asking for Congress's approval. Ooh, no, it's, like I said, folks, it's clown world. It's all a joke. Jennifer Jones Hillis, if you see American troops in Ukraine on the television, do not believe that it will be deep state players because Congress will not approve the troops to go to Ukraine. I can only say I hope you're right. Like I said, I don't know definitively, but they're not asking for anything else at this point. They're just doing it. They didn't vote on tanks. They didn't vote on F-16s. They didn't do any of that. These idiots, these warmongers, these freaking Lindsey Grahams. I want to go to Ukraine. Ugh. Jonathan, let's see. Thank you. Floyd County is modern-day Roman Empire. Whew. Yeah, well, I'm trying not to pick on Floyd County too much, you know. You know, it was an Atlanta suburb way back when. I mean, rich people were moving to Floyd County to evade everything else 20 years ago. So, Floyd definitely was womp, womp, womp. Jonathan Garcia. Jennifer Tudor, you're not wrong. We're blessed in many ways in this area, so much so that people think nothing happening in the world is going to affect them. So they choose to ignore problems and they won't get involved. They wait on someone else to fix things. Well, I can't get the mic out. I was going to mic drop. You're absolutely right. We live in a conservative fantasy land to the point where people are too complacent. They have to be involved. We have to get people involved. You want the elections fixed, you get involved. You want to fight corruption, you get involved. You've got people that are elected, even non-elected positions, that are dirty and corrupt. You got to get involved. You don't like your police, your sheriffs, you got to get involved. You can't just sit there and wait on voting day and say, I'm going to do my part. It don't work like that anymore. It doesn't work like that. You got to get involved. So, strong men make easy times and weak men make hard times. That quote, yeah. That's a good quote. I almost had it memorized, but I can't remember it now. Biden and Fetterman, good Lord. Yeah. Jennifer, I'm afraid we're going to be under attack by 24. We've got some clowns in charge. Like I said, prove me wrong. I'll be the first one to tell you if I'm still here in 2024 that, hey, I was wrong. We're having an election, right? Well, what kind of election? Who knows? Jennifer Jones Illickson, and join tacticalcivics.com so you can learn how to fight in common law court to reclaim our rights and preserve them by getting justice from the criminal elected servants. Amen. Amen. I'm telling y'all, go to it. Check it out. Jennifer Jones Hilligus, the GOP leadership in Floyd has a bunch of rhinos. Oh, yeah, we won't touch that one tonight. And then she put, except Elizabeth and Vicky. Good. That's funny. Let's see. Jennifer, y'all go to votergeorgia.org and go to the legal tab and get the facts. Study them, memorize them, and speak out. Visit your election supervisor with the facts. There you go. You want to get involved? Go to your election board. Get involved. Look at what is being suppressed, and you will find there's stuff I can't even talk about on here. Other groups that aren't really groups, but people that are really working hard behind the scenes to bring this stuff to light. And we commend you, and those of you know who you are. Hello, sir, Tyler Martin, and thank you for the shout out. No problem. I support us. Yeah. Jonathan Garcia, Real American Mammoth. Like I said, you can go follow him. You can follow all the stuff that he's doing, okay? Jennifer Jones, next Tactical Civics meetings at VFW Post 4911 tomorrow night from 6 to 8. Dinner, and this is Cedartown, Highway Rome, Georgia. It's here, and you can reach out to me. I will direct you wherever I can direct you to her. I can direct you to where this is at because it's important just to get up and get involved. Jonathan, God bless you, brother, and Silent No Longer. Thank you. I wish we were doing more with Silent No Longer, but things are dormant right now, and I think people are so mad about they're so tired of the gun debate, and I'm to the point where, like, I don't even care anymore. You can pass whatever you want. If you think you're getting anything that belongs to me, we got a problem. That's all I'm saying. You think you're going to get anything from me, you're going to come take anything away from me that you deem is bad or unlawful, we got a problem. Your screen quality on a computer is fantastic. Thank you. Oh, I don't know about all that, but I appreciate it. If anyone wants to learn indoor gardening, I'm bringing new content from seed to harvest. Thank you, Jonathan. Like I said, you're doing good. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer Tudor, I'm looking for some serious false flag events that are going to stage something huge and blame conservatives. No doubt. I mean, at the rate that everything's coming at us all at once and all the time and in spurts, and it's hard to know what to even believe anymore, folks. It's just so hard to know what to believe. But there's no telling. You know, every single day we got to wake up and we got to find out what's happened and what's going on. And just like this third whistleblower that came out today that they're interviewing, and then all of a sudden Trump's going to be arrested. I mean, that's a false flag in and of itself, you know. Let's see. It's Jonathan. It's a field for dirty constitutional fighting. Absolutely, it is. It is, it's a necessary evil. It's a growing pain, and we could learn a thing or two from these idiot Democrats. But at the same time, man, this is probably the repentance and just what the Republican Party needed, because we've done nothing but compromise. All right, we should have a line in the sand and very concrete things that we will not cross no matter what. Like abortion, we will not cross that. And you shouldn't even be allowed to be a conservative. I'll say that. You shouldn't be allowed to be a conservative if you don't believe in the Second Amendment or you don't believe in the Constitution or freedom of speech. You shouldn't be allowed to be a conservative. You know, I'm not judging. I'm to each his own, but. Jennifer Tudor, we don't have a normal to go back to. We know too much truth to go back. Amen, sister. And that's it. Like I said, the more we uncover, y'all, the more that we uncover, the worse things are going to be. It's like a dirty rat in the corner. All right, a feral cat. You get them in the corner, and they're going to try to get away, and they get away with everything, and they'll get to the point where you're going to grab them, and then they come out swinging, they come out clawing. And I'm telling you, they're 10 steps ahead. So. Tyler, they're going to get Trump, then they're going to get DeSantis, and then the next, and then we have our congresswoman making rap videos in the wake. I wasn't even going to touch that one tonight. That was I did. Okay, all right. I gotta get some nicotine on that one. Okay, listen. Ray sent me the video. I watched the video without context first, and I was like, "Whoa, all right." But that was the same rapper. That was the same rapper that did the Target rap song, and he was like #1 in the nation. And apparently, he's not a bad dude. He's clean, But that was a little surreal to see Marjorie Greene sitting on the back of a red, a Cadillac convertible, whatever convertible it was, and sitting there like MAGA. That was crazy, but what can you say? What can you say about this? I don't know. I'm not even judging, man. It's a weird time to have that come out like that, But yeah, they're not going to stop. They're going to try to squash conservatives. And that's why I'm telling you folks, you need to get involved now before they come out to the conservative fantasy land and try to take everything away. And you're sitting there going, oh my God, it was real. Get involved now. Tyler Martin, I posted on today's Intel report about NASA warning of a solar blast. Remember a few weeks ago the internet could go down? Absolutely. There's a good false flag, right? Dane Wigington. I don't know if everybody knows who Dane Wigington is, but he does a great YouTube channel on all kinds of weather related stuff. Anyway, but yeah, you gotta there's always a solar blast or a comet or something else. I mean they can use whatever they want, and who knows? I mean, a big solar blast will create an EMP and it could wipe out things, but who in the world knows? Jennifer, I'm ready for whatever. I'm sick of this. Me too. Tyler, the Atlantic is currently 98.5 degrees, abnormally hot, and we are nearing the peak of hurricane season. Directed energy weapons, I believe they used it for the Canada wildfires. Watch for an immense climate change push. Boy, oh boy, guess what? That's a big rabbit hole to go down, and I do watch daily the Canadian Prepper, and I watch a lot about the wildfires, and there's some really, really crazy things going on about the wildfires, but don't forget the derailment in Ohio either. Don't forget the recent weather modifications we've covered, and we've talked, and we showed you the stories in the, this is not hyperbole, this is not tinfoil hat. I'm not saying that it is. Tyler's not saying that it is. What he's saying is you need to be aware and understand. Jonathan Garcia, hand Lindsay top G a big bad M4 and let him hit the front line. That's why I put that on his Twitter about 3 different times. I was like, I wish he would just move to Ukraine. I don't. So what was wrong with you, South Carolina? Come on, I've been to South Carolina. I lived in South Carolina for a little while. There's great people in South Carolina. Zoe Warren is from South Carolina. Zoe, you need to stand up and get Lindsey Graham out of the picture. Whew. Tyler, I'm tracking all of this stuff. It's just a matter of time before something kicks off. Again, a good reason to go to nurac.org and follow the news every day. Jonathan Stout, good to see you, sir. Thank you for all the videos you send. Outlaws, absolutely. We're in outlaw territory, right? Jennifer Tudor, somebody should hit up Tom McDonald. His songs are way better than do stuff. Yeah, I gotta admit it was a little it was a little rough around the edges. All right, it was a little rough around the edges. I'm not gonna lie, but God, it's really weird. It was really weird to see that stuff, But it is what it is, and I'm not trying to knock it. I ain't. I said, benefit of the doubt on that one. But yeah, Tom McDonald, if you don't know who Tom McDonald is, man, get your head out of the sand. This dude is like, whew, this dude is good. But Bryson Gray, there's several good rappers out there, and good Christian rappers out there, good people that are really making some good music. So anyway, folks, I'll tell you what, I've renewed the fire a little bit. I just want to end with, for some starters, thanks for everybody hanging out, and I just wouldn't be doing this without you guys. And as long as you all want it, I will continue it. But just get involved. Get involved, and hit me up, man. Get involved, and let's just meet up and talk. Let's get off the dang phones. Let's just go sit in a room and talk for a couple hours, man. Let's meet each other. Let's get out and meet each other. I'm gonna set up a meeting somewhere in a room with some coffee and some donuts, and I'm gonna tell you to leave your freaking phone in the car. All right? and just let's just meet and talk and socialize, because we've got to love and care for each other. And in a world that is filled with so much negativity and so much evil, we have to love and care for each other, and we've got to support each other, especially those who are not going to fit into this system that's coming. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Tyler, I'm digging the outro. Thanks, man. That's me. That's me from 12 years ago. Jennifer, it's time for a phone-free meeting where no conservative can be tracked. That type of meeting is necessary now. Amen, my sister. Beans, bullets, and Band-Aids, stack it to the rafters. Let's go together. I love it, Jonathan. Everybody, like I said, get involved, and I'm gonna set it up, man. I'm getting it set up. Everybody, just be cool. Don't let this stuff get to you that much. Know that it's coming, and know that no matter what, me, I'm in it for the long haul, and I've told people this, man. They start sweating you. You need community. You give me a call. You give people a call. You lean on people. Don't let them push you around. We're going to need each other more than ever. And we've got to take a stand in our conservative fantasy land, and we've got to get involved. Holler at me. Holler at these people. Holler at them, and get involved, man. Get involved. You have to get involved. So, I love you from the bottom of my heart, and it's because of where we live why I'm so passionate about it. But take care of